兄様、この妹目に夜のご寵愛のお言葉をいただきたく思います。
Oh, my beloved little sister. What's up?
兄様から愛しき妹なんて返しが来るとは。兄様は最近この妹目を殺しにかかっているようですね。あ、バニラ、ちょっと鼻血拭くようにバスタオル持ってきてください。
I hear Vanilla reply okay on the other end. You okay?
すみません、少々お戯れを。ショコラとバニラの進捗を伝えておこうと思いまして、とりあえず明日に帰るのは不可能となりました。遅くとも1週間はかからないと思いますが、戻った時に鈴がない可能性もございます。
Is it really that bad? Wow. Okay, I'll leave everything up to you.
最善は尽くしますので、それではまた連絡をいたします。愛してますわ、兄様。ご主人様、助けて。
A week at most, huh? I'm really glad Shigure and Mom went for me instead. I'll just pretend I didn't hear Chocola's screams of agony. When it comes to catgirls, Shigure knows far more than I do. A call from home. Shigure generally uses her cell phone to call, and Mom is with her in Chocola and Vanilla, which means that if this call is from home, then...
よう、カショウ。ナッツのアホはそっちにいんだよな。一応確認でよ。どうせなんか余計な手間かけさせてんだろうけど。
Yeah, she's at my place. There's no issues either, really. We're fine.
あ、別に何もねえならいいんだけどよ。でか、ナッツがてめえで連絡入れろっつう話だよ。
I should have called about her earlier. My bad. Sorry. Coconut is in the bath right now. She's sleeping over since it got pretty late all of a sudden. I'll bring her back tomorrow morning, though.
本当に手間のかかるダメ猫は困るよな。
You're such a wonderful big sister for them to have, always looking out for them and all.
把握してねえと、しぐれがうるせえんだよ。無事ならいいや。あとは適当に頼むわ。
You have to deal with quite a lot on your own, huh, Azuki? Even though she really looks out for everyone, she can be pretty sarcastic. I guess that's what made it hard for her to show that she really does care about Coconut. Looks like both people in catgirls can give out mixed signals, huh?
お兄ちゃん、お風呂上がりましたにゃ。
Are you borrowing one of his shirts? Great. I hope you didn't have any trouble getting the water Coconut? Why are you wearing my shirt? Amazing. She's completely naked except for my white dress shirt. She probably pulled it out of the laundry machine. I guess Chocola and Vanilla's clothes wouldn't fit her at all, though. I feel like this is something I really shouldn't be seeing, but if she's okay with it, I guess it's fine. She's wearing underwear. I should just give her a new shirt. Yeah. I nod as I come to a solution. You haven't dried your hair off, have you? It's still all wet.
長いとなかなか乾かないから、いつもこんな感じで。いつもはしぐれちゃんが乾かしてくれたりするんだけど、自分だとめんどくさくてついつい。
She tries to play it off with a smirk. Oh, alright, fine. Come over here.
しょうがないって？
We're gonna dry off her hair.
気持ちいいにゃ。
Damn, we're getting spoiled with these CGs.
お兄ちゃんの指先、優しくてすっごく気持ちいい。
If it starts getting too hot, let me know, okay?
はい、全然大丈夫。
I try to make sure that the hot air doesn't hit Coconut in the face. I make sure to move it around a lot so that it doesn't burn her anywhere.
お兄ちゃん、すっごく手慣れてるね。
I used to blow dry Shigure's hair when we were kids, but now I do it for Chocola and Vanilla.
そっか、それは年季入ってるね。でもいいの？お兄ちゃんにこんなに甘えちゃって。今日だってお仕事で疲れてるのに。
Yeah, don't be silly, this is nothing. I wouldn't consider this as spoiling you at all. I'm just doing this for you because I want to. You've been helping me out at the shop too, right? So this isn't spoiling you or anything, I'm just showing my gratitude.
僕もお店の手伝いしたくてしてる。その大事な家族でお兄ちゃんの妹だもんね。
Exactly.
そういうことなんだね。嬉しいな。何度言ってもらっても。
It's nice to see that she's overall relaxing and she's not having to keep up the personality that she was trying to attain that just didn't fit with her. I'd be more than happy to say it as many times as you'd like.
何度でも言ってほしいね。
As you wish. We continue to engage in light banter as I dry the ends of her hair. Ah, your tail isn't dry yet either. Might as well dry it too.
お兄ちゃん、尻尾は
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the tails, man. Ah, my bad. This is the first time I've dried a tail as fluffy as yours, so I'm not sure how gentle I should be. I'll be a bit softer with it, so just let me know when you're alright. I move the hairdryer further away, and slowly, softly follow the contours of her tail.
さっきよりすごくいい感じですごくいいのに、そのくすぐった気持ちよくて。
You gotta love these statements out of context.
僕我慢する。
Oh man, we pulled the brush out too? Damn.
何これ。
What a great pet owner we are.
しぐれちゃんに尻尾触られるのと全然違うよ。お兄ちゃんの指なんかすごいゾクゾクって。
Jolts? Should I stop then?
大丈夫。僕頑張るから。そのまま。
That was interesting. Okay, tail's all dry. You okay, Coconut?
にゃんとく。お風呂入ったばっかりなのに、なぜかいちゃったにゃ。
Coconut takes a few deep breaths to try to compose herself. I need to learn more about drying tails. I nod to myself.
お兄ちゃん、ありがとね。こんな風に甘やかしてもらったの、すごく久々ですっごく嬉しい。
I'd be more than happy to do it anytime as long as you're okay with it. Try not to try so hard, alright?
頑張らないように頑張るって
I know that
変な
even
言葉だけどね。
that tripped me up. Ha, you're right. Let's just say I'm rooting for you too, okay?
ありがとうお兄ちゃん。
I pat her soft and fluffy hair, and we nod to each other, smiles on our faces.
ごめんなさい。首が。
I look at the clock only to see that it is now past midnight. She'd have normally been long asleep by now according to Shigure's daily routine. It's gotten really late, hasn't it? I've already changed Chocola and Vanilla's bed sheets, and tomorrow's a day off, so have a nice sleep, okay?
そんなことまでしてくれてありがとうお兄ちゃん。じゃあお言葉に甘えておやすみなさい。
Yeah, good night. Well, that was fun and chill. Hey, go to bed.
お兄ちゃん。
Coconut turns around to face me. With her gaze pointed to the floor, she starts to fidget. What's wrong?
そのお兄ちゃん、その
She hesitates for a moment. After she looks like she summons a bit of courage, she takes a step toward me. Aww.
お兄ちゃん、今日は本当にいろいろとありがとう。
Hey, we definitely do have height over here. We're pretty tall compared to her, I think.
この間のミルクの時もいっぱい褒めてくれたし、今日もいっぱい嬉しいこと言ってくれて、本当に僕は幸せな猫だなって思ったよ。
She takes my hand and gives me a bit of a squeeze. And just as a cat would, she then nuzzles her cheek against it.
僕、本当に頑張るから。もううじうじしたり迷ったりしないって約束する。
Coconut.
最後にそれが言いたかったんだ。おやすみなさいお兄ちゃん。また明日ね。
And she's out. I promise, huh? The smell of coconut just fresh out of the bath. Her soft skin, her warm touch. The combination takes me by surprise and my face flushes red. Well, Coconut is pretty cute. What am I doing? Thinking of Coconut in that way. I'm almost her older brother. I slap myself lightly for having entertained the thought for even a moment. Alright, I should take a bath and get to bed. I say it out loud to myself. As I mutter to myself, I head to the bath. Because Coconut came by, I hadn't felt the slightest bit lonely tonight. Which is pretty cool, you know? It seemed like it was going to be a boring, lonely bit of time, but... especially this day off, but... yeah, it looks like we're all good. We got something to kind of, go for here. And there we go, we cleared chapter 2.
お掃除と洗い物バッチリ終わったよ。シナモン、メープル、確認お願いします。
すごいよ。なっちゃん、すごい進歩だよ。コップもお皿もティースプーンも全部無事だよ。
Now that's what we call progress.
この程度で褒めるのもどうかと思うけど、でも一昨日までと比べたら仕事になりそうじゃない。なっちゃん、すっかり元気になって。根が単純だからね。歌唱にうまいこと持ち上げられたんでしょ。
どうだい、あずき。僕だってやればできるんだよ。
おうおう、すげえすげえ。ようやく下の女ってところだな。頑張れ頑張れ。
聞いた、お兄ちゃん。あずきに褒められたよ。あのあずきに。
Yeah, if that's really what you want to call praise. Hey, that's great. Your special training's paying off. I won't worry about Azuki's attitude. I'm just glad that Coconut is happy.
お兄ちゃん。
Oh, there it is.
あんた、そういうの好きだったの？まあまあ、いいじゃないの。他人や他猫の趣味趣向に口出すものじゃないですってば。そういうことを店員に強要する歌唱さん。
What?
ダメ。これからお店が始まるの
Oh,
に。
you know what? I'm beginning to remember a bit of her personality. She's weird. I'm telling you right now, it's nothing like what you're thinking, alright?
これは僕が望んだことなんだよ。もう背伸びするのはやめようと思って。ね、お兄ちゃん。
よくわかんないけど、一昨日に何かあったみたいね。ま、そっちのがココナッツっぽくっていいと思うわよ。お姉ちゃんの一人として、なっちゃんが大人になって嬉しいな。無理して背伸びしてもいいことないと思うし。
Maple and Cinnamon seem to agree. They are family after all. I'm reminded of that again.
おい、歌唱。
What's up, Azuki?
ナッツがうじうじ猫から脱出したのはいいんだけどよ。特にナッツは単純なんだから、あんま特別扱いしてやんなよ。
Special treatment?
してんだろ。思いっきりよ。言ってもナッツはまだまだガキなんだから、距離感気をつけろって話だよ。
She softly hits my chest. We're family. We can't help but be close.
いや、そうじゃなくてな。
あずき、もしかして羨ましいの？
Why do those eyes just sometimes just pop up, even just for a brief moment? I've noticed that.
僕とお兄ちゃんが仲良しなのか？
誰がそんなことで嫉妬するかボケ。調子に乗んじゃねえ、このダメ猫が。
大人になった僕にそんな挑発は通じないよ。
てめえ、通体と同じくらい態度まででかくなりやがって。
体は関係ないだろ。あずきだって体くらい謙虚になればいいのに。
And now they're back at it.
んだてめえ、やんのかこら。
そっちがふっかけてきたんでしょ。だったらやってあげるよ。
ま、多少は大人になってもこんなもんよね。これでこそ水無月姉妹ですしね。
And that's how it ends, I guess. Some things just don't change. And sometimes that's A-okay. You don't want to force change either. In a similar way of you don't want to be someone that you're not. You know, everything comes pretty naturally in that regard.
ようかしょ、休憩入るぞ。
Alright, good work out there. I'm in the middle of something and respond without turning to face her. Oh, Azuki.
なんだ？
How's Coconut doing? Is she doing her work all right?
とりあえず一昨日までよりはまともだよ。仕事は遅いけど失敗するより200倍マシだしな。
Slow and steady wins the race.
まああの調子で慣れりゃようやく戦力として数えられんじゃねえか。
I see, that's great. I'm relieved that she's not having a hard time with things. Like Azuki said, she'll get better as time goes on. The important thing now is helping her get to that point.
これもカショウがナッツのアホの鼻っ柱を折ってくれたおかげだな。
I wasn't trying to take her down a notch or anything. I was just helping her develop her skills a little.
てめえはダメ猫なんだからダメ猫なりにやれってことだろ。それを鼻っ柱を折るってんじゃねえか。キキキ。ま、ナッツに必要だったのは無理すんな。私が言っても聞かねえし。ま、何言ったか知らねえけどいい傾向だろ。
Azuki's never going to get Coconut to open up to her if she keeps saying things like that. I'll let them work that out on their own, though. I know you're watching Coconut, Azuki. You phoned just because you were worried about her, didn't you?
これでも一応一番年上だしな。私がやんなきゃしょうがねえだろ。モンシナとかプルメイなんかはもうほっといても心配だねえけどよ。困ったことにナッツはでかいのは体とおっぱいだけだからな。ほんとガキすぎて困ったもんだぜ。
She strikes an annoyed pose. I guess this is just how Azuki shows her affection. If she stopped being so sarcastic, well, maybe her sisters would realize that too. She probably just needs some way to hide her embarrassment, though. She seems like she has a lot of things to worry about.
もうだいたい察しはつくけどな。ずっと末っ子で甘えっぱなしだったけど、だんだん体がでかくなってきたとこにショコバニの2匹が来たからな。頑張ってお姉ちゃんやろうと背伸びしようとした結果が、てめえもまだまだ子猫ちゃんのくせに分不相応なこと考えやがって。一緒になって甘えてりゃいいのに。
Azuki's being more talkative than usual. Earlier, she said that Coconut never listens to her. As the older sister, that must be pretty frustrating for her. She must be in quite a bind, since she's never upfront about her feelings. There's no way she'd know them so well if she didn't love them. Seems like the Minaduki family's eldest catgirl really is a wonderful sister. You know, I've been wondering, when they say their family name, is it Minazuki? Or is it actually Minaduki? Because that doesn't sound right, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna have to pay attention to whenever they actually do say it. I wonder if it's a localization thing, or maybe it's just a Michael being stupid thing. I think sincerely. Must be tough being an older sister.
そうだ。私は大変なんだぞ。さらに店の仕切りまで押し付けられちまうしな。感謝の気持ちにうめえもん食わせてもらいてえもんだぜ。あ、そういやこないだテレビで一杯2万5,000円の大間マグロ丼が紹介されてたな。
That's outrageous money right there. Don't change the subject. 25,000 yen for one bowl? Even Misaki's most expensive tuna bowl is only about 5,000 yen. I'm not sure which of the two is actually closer to a normal price now. I guess you'd have to eat it to really understand. Alright. Well, how about some pats? Come on.
ほら、カーショ、私はそういうキャラじゃねえって。
She's got to put down that barrier. I never expected that Azuki could be this cute. She's trying desperately not to purr, but her tail's already sticking straight up. I guess it's only natural that a catgirl would like to be petted. I continue to pet Azuki as I admire her. Come on, there's no one else around. You can purr if you want.
調子乗んなって。この、マジでいい加減に。
There it is. There's the purrs, I think.
あずきったらそんな甘えた声出しちゃって。
Oh no.
なんだかんだ言ってやっぱりあずきもお兄ちゃんに甘えたかったんでしょ。
ちっげえよ。おめえみてえな子猫ちゃんと同じにすんじゃねえ。
その子猫ちゃんと同じように喜んでたくせに。
ちげえって。今のはカショウの手がくせえから出たフレーメンだ。フレーメンね。あずきのフレーメン顔は可愛いんだね。こ この野郎
If you're going to get violent, do it upstairs, away from the shop. As I chuckled to myself about Azuki's awkward display of affection, I stealthily produced 2 freshly baked apple pies. Damn, that's multitasking right there. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, I'm having a good time. Like, now that I don't know, maybe after all these years, maybe I'm just appreciating this shit a lot more than I did back then. Maybe I was sort of like growing out of the, I want everything to be eroge phase. And now I'm just kind of like appreciating visual novels for the types that they are. What is this? Does this actually count as moe-ge? I don't know. I don't know the different types. All right, we're just about sold out for today. It's a little early, but I think we can close up the bakery.
お疲れ様でした。人数少ないのにもうだいぶ慣れたわね。
あははショコラとバニラはいつ帰ってくるんだろうね。
Shit, I'd hope so.
ほんとショコラはアホの子だからな。あれで鈴取れたことの方が奇跡だぞ。
鈴なくさなければいいけどね。
I've got some things to take care of after this, so can I leave closing up the store to you girls? Azuki, come with me.
はあ？なんで私だけ残業なんだよ。仲のいいナッツでも連れてきゃいいじゃねえか。
Don't be like that, I just need your help.
たく、しょうがねえな。どこのケーキ屋はブラックだな、おい。
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? She comes along, putting on a show and acting oh so indignant. But underneath that sarcastic exterior, she's obedient. I reflect on that as I tell her to change her clothes. Alright, Cinnamon, I'm giving you the key to the store. Don't let me down, okay?
はーい、任されました。
So where are we headed?
で、一体どこに行こうってんだ？カッションも見慣れねえスーツとか着やがって。さては、あれか？何か謝りに行くのに、私を寝込み悟空にしようってか？
I don't know what she's getting at here, honestly.
そういうのなら、おっぱいキャットのモンシナかナッツのが向いてんだろう。
Don't worry about it, just come on. I try to reassure Azuki as she makes excuses. As we chat, night falls and we walk around the shopping district.
たく、さっきからそればっかじゃねえか。こんな可愛い猫とデート気分とか。店だったらいくらかかると思ってんだ？
Yeah, you have my sincerest gratitude, Azuki-sama. It must be somewhere around here. Oh, here it is. We're going in this door, Azuki.
は？この店って。
Where are we headed? What's going
お待
on?
たせいたしました。カーテン開けますね。
Oh, shit.
ちょっと待て。聞いてねえぞ。こんなの。
She mutters, her embarrassed face glowing bright red. Hey, it suits you, Azuki.
似合ってるとか似合ってないとか。
She's not used to wearing frilly party dresses. Azuki fidgets, idly pressing her fingertips together. As her face reddens even more, she shoots me a protesting glance. I wonder if it's okay for a catgirl to be wearing an outfit like this.
茶化すんじゃねえよ。私つ素材がいいからだろ。
She's so cute when she tries to act tough. Honestly, she does look stunning in the dress though. Personality-wise, she's pretty rough around the edges, but this really accentuates her figure, even if her figure is that of a munchkin. Her height and her very modest chest are accentuated too, though I keep that part to myself, as you probably should.
なんでこんな格好させてんだよ。フルメイならこんなコスプレ喜ぶかもしれねえけど、私だぞ。それにこんな高いドレス買われても。
This store primarily sells dresses, but we're just renting this one today. The place we're headed to has a strict dress code. That's why I have to wear this uncomfortable suit too.
は？ドレスコード？
I take a very wide-eyed Azuki's hand and escort her outside where a taxi is waiting for us. God damn, we have a whole date lined up here. What do we have going on? Are we gonna go get that 25,000 yen bowl? We're here, Azuki. And just like before, I pull on her arm as we exit the taxi and head towards our destination.
着いたぞってこんなとこでドレスコードって
Yeah, where are we? Oh, yeah, we're on a little date here.
こういうとこに来るなら最初から言えっつうの
We're at the top of Yokohama's pride and joy, its tallest skyscraper. Azuki's jaw drops as as her gaze sweeps over the coastal skyline, sparkling amidst the backdrop of the night sky. You said you wanted to eat something tasty, right? Well, a promise is a promise. I raise up my champagne-filled glass, and we gently clink our glasses together.
だからってこんなのは想像もしてなかったっつうの絶対あたふたしてる私を見て楽しんでたろカションもいい性格してるよ
I hope you're enjoying your meal and champagne.
そりゃうめえけどさ
While puffing out her cheeks, she swirls the champagne around in her mouth the exact same way I was doing. She's acting much more polite than she usually does, excuse me. Maybe it's just the dress and her hairdo, but Azuki looks much more grown up. She's beautiful. I honestly believe she is. So a famous pastry chef is here today. I figured we should try this chef's cakes at least once in our lives. This is my way of thanking you, Azuki.
お礼なんて別にしてもらうほどのことはしてねえよ
No need to be so humble. My store would really be in trouble if you weren't around, Azuki. And, well, thanking you this way also lets you take a bit of a breather.
息抜き
It seems like she's already gotten used to the place, though she still seems to be a little miffed. You're an older sister, Azuki, no joke. Especially for Coconut, you're always nearby and taking care of her. And that's why I figured that you could let your guard down and take a well-deserved break from being everyone's older sister here.
カショ
She looks at me with widening eyes. I feel like I'm trying too hard to show off. But what I said was the absolute truth. You warned me, but as an older brother myself, I know what it's like to worry about younger siblings. Shigure is trying her hardest to keep up with me right now, and it seems that Coconut is doing the same. I think that somehow everything ended up more or less okay, though.
カショ
I guess that means that even you worry about me. You can get away from your sisters and let me spoil you once in a while, right? I was actually planning to come here alone, but with how things have been going, I thought this would be just the right opportunity to take you out. So, well, you know, you're an important part of our family too, you know? You're like a little sister to me. You've been helping me out, so let me meddle in your life a little. Once again, I turn to Azuki and lift my glass to her.
カショほんとおめえはカッコつけだな
That's alright.
そんなんだから地頃パティシエとか言われんだぞ
Despite her sarcasm, I can tell that she's embarrassed from the way she's holding her glass. The two of us gently clink our glasses together again.
たまにはこういうのも悪くねえななんかワインに酔っ払っちまったみてえだしここにいる間だけはお姉ちゃんの看板
That's the Azuki I know, always trying to hide her true feelings. That wide smile is more than enough to tell me how she really feels, though.
お兄ちゃんも底辺だな
Just as tough as being a big sister, I would think.
ちげえね
We both empty our glasses in one gulp, and follow it up by pouring even more champagne into our glasses. This is Azuki, the catgirl who's always so distant with everyone. We happen to bring our glasses up to our mouths at the same time.
じゃあその目的のケーキが出てくるまでは普段のお礼ってことで遠慮なく行かせてもらうわ財布の中身は大丈夫なんだよな
Yeah, we definitely won't be going home hungry tonight, that's for sure.
いくらカッコつけても私はお兄ちゃんなんて呼ばねえぞカショウがどうしても呼んでほしいって言うなら考えなくもねえけどよ
I thought you said you weren't into that sort of thing.
そういうことにしといてやるよ
She has a very Azuki-like smile across her face. This time Azuki's the one who raises her glass. I raise mine in response.
改めて大事な家族に乾杯
We look out over the dazzling skyline as it twinkles in the night sky. Our glasses reverberate with a crystal clear tone. Well, that's nice. That's a nice time right there. Now, I wouldn't go anywhere that requires a dress code. I would dress up for going to a restaurant with people, but that would probably be the extent of it.
懐かしの我が家に帰ってきたな。やっぱこっちの着慣れた服のが落ち着くな。ま、シンデレラタイムもたまには悪くなかったけどよ。
I hope that helped you blow off some steam.
ああ、おかげさまでな。いろいろと気遣いサンキューな。礼は言っとくよ。
Once she took off the dress, she went right back to right back to being her usual self. She really settled down once we got back to a place that she's familiar with.
そっちこそ何か参考にはなったのかよ。なんかガラス細工みてえなケーキばっかりだったけどよ。
An expensive restaurant like that isn't a regular bakery. If you think about it, there's no way we could compete with them.
ちげえね。
Well, we could try to, copy the taste, though. But of course, someone like me, who's gotten his experience through baking at home, will never be able to replicate a cake made by a world-famous pastry chef.
そうか？カシオのケーキのがうめえなってのもあったぞ。
What's this? Are you trying to flatter me, Azuki?
一猫としての素直な感想だよ。バカ。
As we continue to chat, I put my hand on the store's door.
ま、浮かれ気分もほどほどにして。
Wait, was the shop actually locked?
明日からはまたお姉ちゃん業に勤しまねえとな。特にナッツのアホはまだまだ子猫ちゃんだから、あいつがまた調子に乗れるまでしっかりおだててやんねえと。カショウがうまいこと調子乗せたんだから、責任取ってちゃんとおだててやれよ。
She's got a big grin on her face as she cracks her usual jokes. Azuki always goes a little too far. My reply is jokingly indignant. I wasn't really planning on sweet-talking her any... Oh?
あずき、お兄ちゃん。
Why are you here? Coconut is standing there wide-eyed.
ナッツ？なんでまだここに？
お兄ちゃんのこと待ってたから。
What terrible timing. By the look on her face, it's obvious that she heard what Azuki said. This is a complete misunderstanding. If Coconut missed what we were saying beforehand, it would sound like that we were making fun of her.
僕が調子に乗るまでおだてるってどういうこと？お兄ちゃんは僕のこと大事な妹だって。
Wait a sec, calm down. Coconut, you've got the wrong idea.
あずきだって僕のこと褒めてくれたんじゃなかったの？今まではあんな風にだって褒めてくれたこと一度もなかったくせに。
She's trying to stifle the anger in her voice. As she bites down on her lip, I see her shoulders start to quiver slightly. This isn't good. I doubt she'll listen now even if I try to clear things up. This is a critical situation. If I don't choose my words carefully...
いや、だから今のはちげえんだっつってんだろ。そうやって人の話聞かずに早とちりすっからくだらねえミスばっかすんだろうが。
Azuki, I don't think you should...
あずきはなんでそんな嘘ついたの？最低だよ。僕のことそんな風にからかって傷つけて楽しいの？いくら喧嘩ばっかりでもお姉ちゃんだと思ってたのに。
いや、だから別に嘘ついたとかじゃなくてな、感触起こしてねえで。うる
さい！あずきの話なんて聞きたくもないよ。大きいのは態度ばっかり。器は体と同じくらい小さいじゃないか。
Hey, Coconut, calm down. It's really not how it's...
カショはちょっと下がってろ。
Azuki cuts me off and takes a step towards Coconut.
おいナッツ、いいからギャンギャン騒ぐんじゃねえよ。話聞けって言ってんだろ。喧嘩売りてえだけなのか？意味もなくわざわざ人が気にしてっとこピンポイントでつっつきやがって。真面目に話してんだから、たまには姉貴の言うこと聞けよ。
ああ、そうだよ。あずきは僕のことが嫌いなんでしょ。僕は手のかかる調子に乗った妹なんでしょ。こんな時ばっかりお姉ちゃんぶって偉そうにお説教しないでよ。お兄ちゃんもあずきも一緒になって僕のことを騙して。あずきなんかお姉ちゃんじゃない。お兄ちゃんが僕のことを褒めてくれたのも全部嘘だったんだ。 大事な家族だなんて嘘っぱちじゃないか。お兄ちゃんもあずきもどうせ血なんて繋がってないんだから。
Okay, we're cutting her off, I think. Hey, that's over the line, Oh?
あず
She holds her cheek, bewildered. I can't believe what I just saw. All I can do is stare at Azuki in shock.
おめえはよ、どんな時だろうが、言っていいことと悪いことの区別もつかねえのか。そんなんだからガキって言われるのが。
Coconut stammers, dumbstruck. Tears start to well up in her eyes, followed by an incoherent wail. But Azuki remains unaffected. She continues to glare at Coconut steadfast.
僕だって。
Without another moment's hesitation, she dashes out of the room. There is a short silence followed by the ringing of the chime at the store's entrance.
てえな、あのバカ猫が。
That was really unlucky. There's a hint of regret in her voice, like she's holding back her own tears. The hand that she slapped Coconut with twitches. That was unnecessary. Especially since you of all people worry the most about Coconut.
うるせえよ。くそ。別に、私だって。
Azuki begins to cry as though she was the one who was slapped. She squeezes the offending hand tightly. Her kindness and sorrow, her anger and weakness. I gently pet Azuki as these emotions churn inside of her. You know, a while back, I tried to help Shigure and we ended up getting into a huge fight. This situation isn't so different. So I know how you feel, Azuki. And I know how Coconut feels. Full of regret, Azuki lowers her head, holding her hand tightly and digging her nails into her skin. There's been a lot of times where I've ended up doing stupid things. So, I want to help out my precious family if they end up in a similar situation.
箇所。
I take her hand, now painfully red and marked up from her own nails, and peer into her eyes. Azuki, being stubborn like this is only going to make things more painful. The longer this goes on, the less chance you have to make up with Coconut. Are you okay with that?
いいわけ。ねえだろ。んな分かりきったこと聞いて。
Yeah, I guess you would. Well, if you know that, then you know we have to go and find Coconut. You are her big sister, right? Azuki lifts her head. Though she seems hurt, she looks at me.
言われなくたって。分かってるし。
Yeah, I guess you're not as indecisive as I am, Azuki. I choose my words deliberately. Her lips curve into a resigned smile.
たく、箇所はほんと意外に暑苦しいよな。くせえこと平気で言うカッコつきだし。でも、ありがとな。おかげさまでへこんでる場合じゃなくなったわ。
No, of course not. Of course this shit can be fixed. This is just another thing that a big sister has to deal with.
そうだな。お姉ちゃんは大変だ。
She nods, smiling just as always.
じゃあ、ダメな妹を探しに行きますか。
Yeah, we have to find her quick. With a deep breath, I put a hand on the shop's door, and pushing it open, we run out to go find our beloved sister. Imagine she's just like right outside the fucking shop. Like she didn't run far at all. Doesn't seem like she's that far. I find her at last standing by a railing at an empty park that overlooks the ocean. She has her back turned to me and her familiar long hair streams down it. Hearing my footsteps, she turns to face me.
お兄ちゃん。
Her heterochromatic eyes are red and puffy from crying. She looks away from me, hiding her drained complexion. I had a lot I was going to say to you when I found you, but I'm just glad you're safe, Coconut, really. I lay my honest feelings out and breathe a deep relieved sigh.
お兄ちゃん。
She lays her face back down on the railing. The sounds of her muffled sobs echo throughout the park. Silently, I stand beside Coconut, and we gaze at the pitch black sea and night sky together.
分かってるんだ。僕がダメなのくらい。
She's really not.
お兄ちゃんに教えてもらってようやくこん のちょっと役に立つくらいだって。
Sarah's getting a drink of water. She seems even weaker than the wavering starlight being reflected off the water's surface. Her voice is frail and despondent as she continues to sob. I stand there silently waiting for Coconut to talk.
僕は本当に体が大きいだけで何の役にも立ててなくて、シナモンにもメープルにも年下のショコラやバニラにも、あんなこと言われた小豆にだって全然かなわないって分かってるから頑張ってるんだ。でもうまくいかないんだもん。僕だってお兄ちゃんやしぐれちゃんの役に立ちたいんだ。でもあんな風に言われたらさ、僕だって。
She wraps her fist tightly around the rail. One after another, tears begin to run down her face. It's hard to see her in so much pain knowing that I can't do anything. Coconut, I understand that nothing I say will reach her right now. Words won't help, but... I put my arms around her trembling shoulders and tenderly brush her cheek. She might be bigger than any of the other catgirls, but despite how she looks, she's actually the most gentle, delicate, and helpless of them all. I feel like I'll break her if I hug her too tight. As if giving her my strength, I embrace her and whisper into her ear as gently as I can, "Haven't I told you? You're always so impatient, Coconut." Her voice is much calmer than before, and she begins to loosen up just a little bit. Chocola might be sincere and cheerful, but it's because of those qualities that she's so awkward and messes up a lot. Vanilla is smart, but she's always so apathetic. Maple says rude things to customers too, and Cinnamon always spaces out and ends up ignoring everything else around her. With a wry smile, I continue to look at the speechless Coconut. Azuki is always so sarcastic, and it causes a lot of problems. Even Shigure pushes herself too hard and bites off more than she can chew sometimes. And of course, I'm always bossing everyone around and making them do things how I want them to be done. Even now, I'm at a loss because I can't seem to make you feel any better. Coconut, you may be a little insecure, vain, and clumsy, but when it comes to physical strength, you have everyone beat, and you're always trying your hardest. I bring her close and firmly embrace her shaking head. It all depends on how you look at it. Human, catgirl, it doesn't matter. Everyone has good and bad traits. Coconut, do you dislike the other catgirls because of their flaws? You and Azuki are always fighting, but do you really hate her? Coconut murmurs, her voice shaky as tears drip down her cheeks. Yeah, and I wouldn't either. Even if there are parts you dislike about her, that doesn't mean that you hate her. Because in the end, we're family. At least that's how I feel. Even though we're not blood related, you're still a precious member of the Minaduki family, aren't you? At the very least, I consider you to be my younger sister just like Shigure is. Even if you hate me, okay? The trickle of tears becomes a river, and she begins to wail, repeating, "I'm sorry," over and over again. With Coconut's head nestled against me, I gently rub her cheek. Hugging her tighter, I try to stop her from trembling. I gently wipe the tears from Coconut's left cheek. Does it still hurt where Azuki hit you?
ずきの心の方が何倍も痛かったから。僕、あずきに謝らなくちゃ。もう許してもらえないかもしれないけど。
Nah, she'll forgive you.
でも、ちゃんと謝りたいよ。
Her crying gets louder, and she begins to howl over and over again. So about Azuki, I take my hand off of Coconut's cheek and turn around. There she is.
この距離なんだから聞こえてるに決まってんだろ。
あずき。
With her usual nonchalant attitude, she snorts, turning her head away in embarrassment.
本当に手のかかるバカ猫だな。
She approaches Coconut as she speaks. See, it's all good.
ひどいこと言ってごめんなさい。
あんなこと言われたからって家族の縁が切れるわけがねえだろうが、血がつながってるとかつながってねえとかそういうもんじゃねえだろ。たとえナッツが認めなくてもおめえは私の妹なんだ。どんなに喧嘩しようが何を言い合おうが関係ねえ。それでも無条件に許せるんだから。
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい、お姉ちゃん。
They hug each other tightly, putting aside all their issues, and don't let each other go.
私が悪かった。許してくれ。ナッツが頑張ってるのは誰よりも私が見てたから。だからもうピーピー泣くんじゃねえよ。妹泣かせる姉貴とか最低もいいとこだろうが。
そんなこと言われたらもっと泣いちゃうに決まってるでしょ。ありがとう、お姉ちゃん。お姉ちゃん。
たく手のかかる可愛い妹なんだからよ。ナッツは。
Heavy drops begin to roll down Azuki's face as she gently pats Coconut again and again. It was a pretty eventful night, but I'm glad that they were able to make up in the end. As I try to hold back my own tears, I look on at Azuki and Coconut as they continue to embrace each other. That is nice. It's gotten really late. I look at the time and see that it's already past 11 p.m.
ごめんなさい。僕が余計な時間を取らせたから。
別におめえ一人のせいじゃねえし、いちいち自虐ネタに走るんじゃねえよな。
今日のお姉ちゃんは優しいな。
うるせえ。私はいつも優しいんだよ。
She says, embarrassed, and snorts slightly, letting her facade slip a bit. I don't want to ruin this charming scene. Since you guys have made up to each other now, why don't you stay at my place tonight?
ショコラとバニラがいねえからって私らを代わりにしようってか。そんな手に乗るほど私は安い猫じゃねえぞ。
代わりってお兄ちゃん、それって。
Yeah, you're getting the wrong idea there. No, I'm just offering you a place to stay. You two are making the rest up.
ま確かに今から帰るのも面倒だし、それならナッツと一緒でも仕方ねえかな。
本当に。じゃあ小豆のことギューってしながら寝てあげるね。
よし、てめえはソファーで一人で寝ろや。
じゃあ腕枕で妥協するから。姉妹なんだし、それくらいならいいでしょ。
おいカショー、ナッツの姉妹感を兄として強制してやれよ。
I don't know. She seems pretty similar to Shigure, if you ask me.
言われてみればそうだったな。
でしょ。だから今日は一緒に寝ようね、お姉ちゃん。
わかったわかった。今日だけはな。
はい、ありがとうお姉ちゃん。
The stars in the night sky twinkle down on us. 3 Minadukis. Again, that just doesn't sound right as we cheerfully make our way home. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I guess we're in a whole new day now. That was a quick transition.
ご主人様、ショコラが生きて戻りましたよ。
I'm actually surprised. It's way before the end of the visual novel, I think. I think we got quite a bit to go. But yeah, we'll wrap it up on that note, guys. This was actually a double episode recording session, kind of, because like yesterday I recorded like 15 minutes, had to go, and today it was like the bulk of the session. But yeah, 2 episodes in one session, let's call it that. But this was fun. This was chill. I actually, I kind of was digging everything that we were going through. It's nothing ridiculously serious. Like, I'm not getting like crazy invested in it. My heart's not like beating out of my chest with full emotion over here or anything. But, you know, I can really appreciate just like the chill vibes. And that seems to be what we're getting for now, because now I feel like as we enter the second half, because I feel like we're entering a second half or another part of the visual novel here, things are going to get a little less chill, if you know what I mean. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see where things continue to go in this volume. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.